sacred beings, and welcome to my channel. Today I have a more fun video for you, something a little bit different than we've done before, and we are going to be talking about like your planetary origin or also like your personality. So most of these planets in our solar system within the Milky Way, like your basic planets that you've grown to know since you were a child, you can either be from that planet or your personality is really like that planet. So that's what we're going to talk about today. 5 of them are going to have a extra fun information about you and your personality and important times in your life. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Before we get started, Indica is here in the background, my biggest fan. But let's begin, because today we are going to be talking about the Solarians, Lunarians, Mercurials, the Venusians, Jupiterians, Saturnians, Neptunians, Uranians, and Plutonians, since I already talked about Martians. So if you want to know if you're from one of those planets or your personality comes from there, and to learn more about yourself and some important dates in your life, then please stay tuned. And if you enjoy this kind of material and you want to be part of our spiritual community growing together while on our sacred journeys, then please hit that subscribe button. But without further ado, let's go, because I look forward to sharing this information with you. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is your birth chart. So if you've been subscribed to me for a while, you should know how to get your birth chart by now. But if you're new, hello, welcome, please subscribe, and let me help you get your birth chart. So today, since it's a pretty laid back and easy topic we're going over, your birth chart, the best one to use for this is astro-charts.com. You want to fill out all your information, so your date of birth, location of birth, and your time of birth. So the time of birth, you don't need it, but if you do have it, you're going to learn a lot more about yourself, and it's going to really narrow everything down and be more precise. I know some of you cannot find your date of births, and that's okay. Just maybe ask your family, were you born in the morning, at night, in the middle of the night, just to try to narrow down your time, and then just put that time in there. Or you can leave it blank. So if you want to try that out and let me know the differences of just guessing your date and leaving it blank, like how big is the difference, let me know and try that out if you cannot find your time of birth. So once you get to astro-charts.com, you fill out all your information. We only want to look at your planets. Which side should I put it on? We want to know about your planets, which are located right at the top underneath of the grid, the circle grid. And then also you want to know your houses, which are located all the way at the bottom. So you have to scroll all the way down and your houses will look like this. These are the 2 main things you want. And while we're here, I want to show you real quick at the top, you want to click settings and change it to side reel. And you want to save or screenshot the regular tropical and then the sidereal charts and compare them throughout the video, because I found it interesting. My tropical chart, which explains your current life, your current incarnation right now, and then your sidereal, your higher self, like who your higher being is, like what their personality is like, maybe what you should be striving for in this lifetime, or like who you were before you came here and who you're going to be again when you return. That is your sidereal. So I thought it was cool to compare the 2 of how I am now and how I'm like truly am or supposed to be. So that's pretty fun. So once you have those, let's go ahead and jump in with the number 1 is Solarians. So you might have guessed it. This is if you come from the sun, or you have a sun personality, or you have lived on a sun or inside of a sun somewhere in the galaxy, on any of the many suns that are out there. Solarians are warm, super abundant, and natural leaders. They tend to do things in excess, but they have an effortless ability to light up the people around them. Solarians' life experiences are closely linked to the fueling or breaking down of the ego. The positive or negative consequences of being recognized and creation. If you are a Solarian and you have a Solarian personality or have lived on a sun in the past life, then the markings you're looking for, really easy, you're going to be a Leo rising. So for example, in my tropical chart, which talks about my life right now, is a Leo rising. The second marking is a Leo stellium. So stelliums, I'm going to say a lot in this video, just means you have at least 3 of the same zodiac or planet. That is a stellium. So you would have a 5th house stellium. So go to your 5th house, and within your 5th house, you will have 3 planets in there. And that would be another marking. Or you would have Leo stelliums within your planets. So you would look at the planet screenshot and the houses, and if you have anything Leos 3 or more, that is another marking that you are a Solarian in this lifetime. Also check your sidereal and see if your higher self is a Solarian personality or energy. So let's move on to number 2 is a Lunarian. So if you come from the moon, or you have like the moon energy, moon personality, or you have lived on a moon somewhere in our galaxy, you are called Lunarian, and your energy receives light. So they mirror, or they're the opposite of Solarians. They are not glowing outward. They care and focus about going inward. They have an emotional depth and connection to their inner world that not many can understand. They're very protective over themselves and others because they operate through the tenderness of their inner child. Life for them is about their changing realizations around satisfying their emotions and inner selves and allowing others to see their internal world. So this is crazy. If you are a Lunarian, then you would have a Cancer rising. So go to your planets, and your rising or ascendant is a Cancer. And I'm showing you now my sidereal, my higher self has Cancer rising. And I also have Cancer stellium, so 3 or more stelliums either in your planets or houses. Also, your 4th house would have 3 or more planets within the 4th house. So I thought it was crazy that my current life is Solarian energy, outward light, and then my higher self is Lunarian, focused all about the inner light. So I thought that was very interesting. Let me know if you are a Solarian, Lunarian within your charts. So let's move on to number 3 is Mercurials. So from Mercury, you either have lived on Mercury in a past life or you have that energy of planet Mercury. Mercurials carry expressive energy. This means that they are sharp communicators who wield their clever mind to their advantage when dealing with others. They are incredibly versatile, intelligent, and have a natural charm about them. They yield that power to either connect with or deceive others. Mercurial's lives are largely centered around the responsibility of being authentic, truthful within their communication, and finding ways to tackle their challenges. So markings, if you are a Mercurial from Mercury, you would have a Gemini rising. So your ascendant would be a Gemini. Or you would be a Virgo rising. So Gemini or Virgo rising. I'm curious if you have that in your sidereal, like one is Gemini and then the other is Virgo. Interesting, let me know in the comments. Or your 3rd or 6th house has a stellium of 3 or more planets. So 3rd or 6th house has 3 or more in there, or you're a Gemini, Virgo rising. So let's move on to number 4. So this one is interesting because you are a Venusian, you come from the planet Venus. And this one is an actual starseed that was inhabitable in the past. So if you can definitely be a Venus starseed. They are also called Hathors. So they are the true feelers and harmonizers of this planet. They are the most compassionate, nurturing, yet mysterious souls that you can meet. They have incredible encounters with the supernatural and deceased spirits. They have psychic powers that enable them to literally bridge dimensions together, and they are fully dedicated to bringing in new ways of love and transforming harsh, cold energy into pure warmth, comfort, and joy. Their energy is incredibly graceful and beautiful. So if you're a Venusian from Venus, a Venus starseed, a Hathor, with the pleasure, love, and beauty-oriented planet as their guide, Venusians' energy is attractive and unifying. They have magnetizing energy that can turn heads and draw others towards them, but they're not great with conflict. So a little bit more about them, because this is an actual starseed I have not covered yet. They have a tendency to mask reality and everything that's ugly or displeasing as a way to preserve the beauty and harmony in their lives. They sound amazing. For example, like this type of starseed or person will not sever or cut old ties, even though they've outgrown the bond, because they don't want to have difficult conversations. They don't like confrontation. They also have a unique ability to bring together polarizing worlds, opposite people, and ideas together. There are lots of traits online that you can go find if you want to read more about them. But if you want to know about your purpose as a Venus starseed, a Hathor starseed, I know I'm saying that wrong, but a couple markings for that starseed is you will be a Taurus or Libra rising. So check both of your charts and see if they are one is Taurus and one is Libra. I'm interested. Let me know below. Or if you have a Taurus, Libra rising, or a Taurus or Libra stellium. So check your planets and your houses for at least three or more Taurus or Libras from your planets or houses. And then in your houses, you want to focus on the 2nd and 7th house. That's where you would have 3 or more planets or objects in that house. So let me know if you come from Venus. That is cool. Number 5 is Martians. You come from Mars, which I already went over in another video. So if you want to know if you are a Martian, then go check out that video. That has all of the markings for you there. And now the next 5 planets, we are going to have a little bit of extra information at the end, some fun dates, important dates in your life, and just like a few like fun traits about you. So let's get started. The first one is Jupiter, number 6. If you are a Jupiterian, hopefully I'm saying that right, from the planet Jupiter, or you have that Jupiter energy, you have a larger than life appeal. They're free spirits, and very often they're spiritualists. They're very spiritual. They are generous, idealistic, inspired, and perhaps not the best in setting personal boundaries or respecting others' boundaries. They are excellent motivators as they are expansive and optimistic. Their energy lights up every room they are in. So another very beautiful energy if you have this. Your markings are going to be Sagittarius rising. So check both of your charts. Sagittarius rising or stellium. So check all your planets and all your houses to find 3 or more in Sagittarius. And then lastly, your 9th house would have stellium. 3 or more planets in your 9th house. So the extra fun information and important dates I'm going to give you is if your sun is in Jupiter. So this is something else you want to look at. So since we're talking about Jupiterians, you want to look at your sun. Is your sun in Jupiter? And the way to find your sun in a planet is you are going to be looking at the aspects section. So this is what it will say aspects and then look like all this information here. I don't have a sun in Jupiter, but you'll see like sun, conjunct, and then a planet, or sun, trine, or opposite. So look, it will start with sun, and I'll show you an example on my next one, because I do have it on the next one. And then not everybody is going to have one of these fun extras for the next 5 planets of Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Pluto, and Neptune. Not everyone will have a sun, trine, or something that planet. So just keep that in mind. If you don't find it, not everyone will have the one. Or you'll have one for like Mercury or Moon, that I already talked about. And for those, unfortunately, I didn't find these fun extras of dates and things like that. So if your sun is in Jupiter, then in short, you are an adventurer and a gypsy, a free-spirited child, like flower child, that is you. And then these are some important ages to remember in your life. So when you turn 23, or when you did turn 23, this was an important year for you. Also, 35, 47, 59, 71, 83. But let's move on to number 7. If you are from Saturn, you are Saturnian, is that how you say it? They have a hardened exterior, so you have a hard shell. You carry an authoritative, mature, and wise energy. And though your wisdom is generated through the opposition, pain, and challenges that you have faced throughout your life, like that's how you have gained all your wisdom. You are mature for your age, which is often a manifestation of you having to grow up quickly and be, independent. They are great boundary setters, highly ambitious, and also drawn to structure. So if this is you, most of the time, if you have grown up with challenges and struggles and pain, that is because in the future, you are going to be able to use what you have experienced to connect with and guide others and to help other people understand how to get through it. So that might be you if you are from Saturn. The markings you would look for is a Capricorn rising, so check both of your charts. Capricorn stellium, so 3 or more Capricorns from your planets or houses, and then your 10th house would have a stellium of 3 or more planets in your 10th house. And then for Sun and Saturn, this is the one that I had, so the wise old soul. So if you are the wise old soul, the important dates that you are going to have for having a Sun in Saturn is multiples of 7. So when you were 7 years old, that was an important year for you. When you're 21, obviously. 28, which I thought was interesting because that is how old I was when I started traveling in the RV full time and figured out that you can work at RV parks and live for basically free and travel the whole country that way. So yes, the 28th was an important year for me. And then 35. So I am 30 right now, if you guys were ever wondering. So that's going to be a good year or something important. And then 42, 49, 56, and so on. So let's move on to number 8. If you are from Neptune, you are a Neptunian. I don't think I said that right, but they are contemplative, greatly detached from the physical realm, and highly intuitive. They are excited by the unknown and cannot live life on a surface level. They make sense of the world through their higher perceptivity, dreams, and abstract thinking. They live between the lines between reality and illusion, which causes them to come across as delusional or idealistic. So you're very in tune with like the inner realms or other dimensions, not really the physical material world that we're in right now. So if you are from Neptune or have ever lived there in a past life, or you have that energy, you are going to have a Pisces rising. So check both of your charts. You will have Pisces stellium, so check your planets and houses, and then your 12th house will have the 3 or more planets to cause a stellium. And then the fun extras, check your sun. Is your sun in Neptune? If your sun is in Neptune, then you are considered the inspired creative. And the important years or for you in your life are between 27, when you're 27 years old, and 28. That was a big important year in your life. 40s to 42, couple important years there. And then 54 and 55. And then in your mid 80s. These are all important years of your life that are to come or have already passed. So let's move on to number 9, Uranians. If you're from Uranus or you have a Uranus personality. So this is the energy of the innovator. You are known to inspire And this includes leaving no one out of progress or out of the process. Uranians also search for alternate ways of being and doing things. So they like being different and doing things different. They appreciate the beauty in difference and individuality. So they like people who are different and who are unique and who are just being themselves. They are very connected to the humanity and to the network of people around them. However, they still instinctively feel a need to change, separate, detach, and deviate from anything predictable in order to reestablish themselves somewhere else. So you get bored easily. If you you don't like predictable things or places or people, you like to keep things new and fresh and for everyone to be themselves and be unique. If you come from Uranus or that is your energy, then the markings are an Aquarius rising, which I thought this matched because, Aquarius people, they're very individual and unique, and not a lot of people are like them. So, and they are always true to themselves. So if you have an Aquarius rising, Aquarius stellium, so 3 or more in your house or planets, or your 11th house has a stellium of 3 or more, then you are a Uranian. So a fun extra, if your sun is in Uranus, then you are the quirky individual. Makes sense. And then the important years in your life are 21, when you are 42 and 43, 64 and 65, and 83 to 85. Those are your important years in your life. Not that not all of them are, but these are extremely important for a certain reason. Something's going to happen. So moving on to the final one, if you are from Pluto or you are Plutonian, if you are a Plutonian being, you came from there, you lived there, or you have that energy, then your energy operates at a deep level, giving Plutonians a natural intensity to their personality that gains strong reactions from people. So whether that's good or bad, you have a really strong personality that people either love you or they hate you. They are determined and resilient with an incisive mind. However, their psychological awareness of the depth and darkness of the human experience can generate fears, paranoia, obsessions that intensify their troubles. So you really are aware of the dark side, negative side of people. Like you see it, you've experienced, you've been through it. So that might cause some of these things to come up in your life. But it's also why you have such a powerful and strong personality. So if you come from Pluto or Pluton, or you're a Plutonian energy being, then you would have a Scorpio rising. That makes sense, actually, from the Scorpios I met. Scorpio rising, Scorpio stellium, so 3 or more in your planets or houses, and then your 12th or your 8th house has a stellium of 3 or more planets within it. And then the fun extra, if your sun is in Pluto, so check for your sun in Pluto, then you are the intense, mysterious soul. And your important years, not many, but highly important for some reason, is between the age of 36 to 39. So if you have any of those planets in your sun and you've already had those years pass by, let me know. Was it important for you? What happened? But that is all I have for you today. So I hope you enjoyed that video. It was a little bit different, but I enjoyed researching it for you and learning a little bit more about myself. So yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. I have a lot of requests from you guys, so don't think I forgot about you. I'm going to get to it. I look forward to it. So have a great day and see you in the next one.